imani rozari hii takatifu atapokea neema kuu zenye nguvu. Ahadi ya pili. Naahidi ulinzi wa kipekee na neema za kipekee kwa yule atakayesali rozari hii. Ahadi ya tatu. Rozari itakuwa silaha kubwa dhidi ya nguvu za kuzimu, itaharibu maovu, itapunguza dhambi na kushinda kutofautiana. Ahadi ya nne. Itafanya fadhila kukua, kazi nzuri kuongezeka, itapatia roho huruma tele toka kwa Mungu, itaondoa hamu ya wanadamu kupenda mambo ya dunia na majivuno yake na kufanya wapende zaidi mambo ya mbinguni. Ni kwa namna gani roho hizo zitajifurahisha na kubarikiwa kwa namna hii? Ahadi ya tano. Roho zitakazojikabidhi kwangu kwa njia ya kusali rozari kamwe hazitapotea. Ahadi ya sita. Yeyote atakayesali rozari kwa uaminifu huku akiyatafakari matendo makuu ya rozari kamwe hatashindwa na ubaya. Mungu hatamwadhibu katika hukumu yake, hatapotea katika kifo asichopangiwa na atabaki katika neema za Mungu na kustahili kupata uzima wa milele. Ahadi ya saba. Yeyote atakayekuwa mwaminifu katika kusali rozari kamwe hatakufa bila kupokea sakramenti takatifu za kanisa. Ahadi ya nane. Wote watakaokuwa waaminifu katika kusali rozari watadumu katika mwanga wa Mungu katika maisha yao na saa yao ya kufa na kupata neema zake tele. Katika saa yao ya kufa watashiriki fadhila za watakatifu waliopo peponi. Ahadi ya tisa. Nitawatoa toharani wale wote waliokuwa waaminifu katika kusali rozari. Ahadi ya kumi. Watoto wangu waaminifu katika kusali rozari watapata fadhila kuu ya utukufu mbinguni. Ahadi ya 11. Utapata yale yote unayoniomba kwa kusali rozari. Ahadi ya 12. Wote wale wanaoeneza rozari hii takatifu nitawasaidia katika mahitaji yao. Ahadi ya 13. Nimepata toka kwa mwanangu mtukufu kuwa mawakili wote wa rozari takatifu watapata waombezi toka baraza lote kuu la mbinguni wakati wa maisha yao na wakati wa saa yao ya kufa. Ahadi ya 14. Wote wanaosali rozari hii takatifu ni wanangu na kaka na dada wa wanangu wa pekee Yesu Kristo. Ahadi ya 15. Ibada kwa rozari takatifu ni ishara kuu ya kuelekea ukombozini.
The KCCB St. Luke's College of Health Sciences North Kinangop is open for applications for the May and September 2022 intakes. The college is certified by the Nursing Council of Kenya and TVET to offer diploma and certificate courses in nursing. Our diploma courses include Diploma in Kenya Registered Community Health Nursing, Diploma in Perioperative Theatre Technology, Diploma in Community Health Assistant, Diploma in Counseling Psychology, and Diploma in Health Records. Our certificate courses are Certificate in Perioperative Theatre Technology, Certificate in Community Health Assistant, Counseling Psychology, Certificate in Health Records, and Certificate in Social Work and Community Development. We also offer KCSE Bridging or NEC receipt for candidates who wish to enroll for Diploma in Nursing. We are located at a serene environment in Nyandarua County, approximately 20 kilometers from Naivasha town. Seize the opportunity in our ongoing May and September intakes. For further inquiries, contact the college principal on 0720 430 311 or 0780 430 312 or send an email to kecsaintlukes@yahoo.com.
Hello there, very good morning, and thank you very much for joining us this 26th day of May. Now, this is the Pontifical Mission Society's special edition brought to you every fortnight. And remember, here we discuss more about the Pontifical Mission Societies, what they do all within the country and across the globe, their missions and apostolates, that is. And of course, we also get to understand and interact with different people who hold different positions, as well as of matters of spirituality in the Catholic Church all over the world. And today we are set to discuss the beatification of Blessed Pauline Marie Jaricot. And remember, Marie Jaricot was a French member of the Third Order of Saint Dominic. She also was the founder of the Society of the Propagation of the Faith and the Association of the Living Rosary. Now, the Holy Father ratified her beatification, and the actual process actually commenced on the 22nd of May 2022. Now, today we need to understand more about the beatification process and all other stages that precede it, and which other stages come after it, and how important actually is this beatification of this lady, Pauline Marie Jaricot, to the Catholic Church, to the lay faithfuls, as well as to mission work across the globe. Now, with me in studio is none other than the National Director of the Pontifical Mission Societies. It's good to have you. Good morning, Father.
Good morning to you, Sasha, and nice to be here again.
Good to see you. It's always a pleasure to host you.
Thank you.
Thank you for making time for this.
Welcome.
Briefly, for those who don't understand what you do as the National Director, could you please just fill them in?
Thank you. My name is Father Bonaventure Lucidio, the National Director of the Pontifical Mission Societies. The Pontifical Mission Societies are societies meant to help the people of God into formation process, to be formed to become missionaries. And mission is about giving and going. Giving meaning those who cannot get to where their mission is, they can donate. And going is those who move. They move with their feet to get to where the arena, the place of action is. So this is what is called mission. And basically PMS, or Pontifical Mission Societies, is to remind us that each and every person who is baptized, you have you need to participate in these works of mission.
Absolutely.
Yeah, evangelization.
Thank you very much. I hope the point is home, especially to my camera person Felix, who wasn't really sure about what PMS stands for. So that P is not actually public, it's Pontifical Missions Societies. So welcome, and feel free to participate in this discussion. You can send your questions, anything you want to know about the beatification process, about this lady Pauline Jaricot. Just drop your sentiments or your questions and queries on our social media platforms. The hashtag to use is PMS, hashtag Capuchin TV, hashtag Asasha Elizabeth. Our number remains 0717-424-866. So, Father, to start off, let's understand this concept of beatification. What exactly does it mean, and what does it entail?
Beatification is a Latin word. It comes from the word beatifico, beatificio. Beatificio means blessed. Blessed. So like our Holy Mother Mary, we call her Beata Maria, Blessed Mary. You see, so it is a process that makes one, that the church realizes that one has heroic virtues. These heroic virtues can be attributed to the way you lived. And this beatification can only be given to a person who has died. So you die after living your life in a holy way, because all of us, we are called to holiness. We are all called to holiness as a people. Baptized, we are called to live a holy life. So in our holiness and our holy life, then we postulate that this person has lived very good life, holy life, with heroic virtues, both the 4 cardinal virtues and 3 theological virtues. The 4 cardinal virtues are prudence, justice, fortitude, that's courage, and then the theological are faith, hope, and love. So you have lived all these virtues. Then now the church raises you to the level of blessed. But there are 4 steps. It is not that you die today and tomorrow we are calling. No. There are stages.
That's a process.
Yes.
Now we'll get to hear about that process maybe later on during this discussion. But now let us try to understand. We've had a lot of terms used or terminologies in the Catholic Church. We've heard about, apart from beatification, we have canonization. How different is beatification from canonization?
Now, beatification is a person being raised to a level of blessed, meaning that then the church recognizes that this person, because of a holy life, this person is in the hands of God, enjoying the joys of heaven, right? But this person can only be venerated within a locality. That is beatification. Within a locality. Say, if I may use an example of Maurice Cardinal Lutunga. If Maurice Cardinal Lutunga is raised to the level of blessed, he can only be talked about and venerated within the area where he is known. That is Kenya. But now, canonization, to canonize means to put in the books, the rule book, to put in the code of saints. So canonization means now your virtues have been accepted by the church and they can be venerated by the entire church. Across the world.
Now, okay. So when the blessed, a servant of God is made blessed, does it mean that the people within Kenya, for instance, the example used of a servant of God, Maurice Cardinal Lutunga, does it mean it's only Kenyans or people within Kenya who are supposed to seek his intercession?
That is the idea, that those who knew him, those who understand him, they are the ones who postulate that sainthood. Yeah. So
right.
That is what I mean by locality, within the area where the person was widely known.
Okay, so in short, that is the road to sainthood. Right. So what processes or stages are there or are considered in attaining sainthood in the Catholic Church?
Thank you. There are 4 stages or processes. The first one is when the bishop of that area gives this information to Rome and asks now it's called, we are changing it to dicastery, it used to be Congregation for Causes of Saints, and says this person has lived a holy life and we who have been with him or her, we postulate that this person becomes a saint. So once you give those information and they do the investigations and find that yes, there is reason to start the process, then they make the person servant of God.
So it doesn't come automatically like you are in a religious, for instance, or a lay faithful, then after death you are declared a servant of God?
No. It is, in fact, you have, after your death, you have to wait for 5 years. 5 years. So that emotions and those other things, they go out and people become objective. Initially, before 1997, you used to wait for 50 years.
That was quite a long time.
It was meant to make people objective. Even sometimes even forget. And then when you start the process, you would start it on a platform where you don't have issues of bias and so on. It is now objective that yes, this person was actually a holy person. So that is the first stage. Then, as servant of God, the postulation, they put a person to investigate. So there is the investigative and the judicial process. So this works together. And when they find reason to raise you up, then they make you venerable. Venerable. So the Pope announces that this person has now been raised to the state of venerable. Then now we wait for a miracle. When you're venerable, then we start praying that you bring a miracle. And when a miracle is done through intercession of your prayers, that person who is venerable, then that person is raised to the level of blessed. Again, apostolation begins, investigation. So those investigations, there is a promoter of faith, and promoter of justice. The
Those
postulate,
who are for and against.
yes, those who say this person is due for sainthood, and then there will be another person whom we call devil's advocate, not to say that you are not a saint, but just to puncture, find those holes, and say, but there is this person had this, did this, which cannot make him a saint. So it is a matter of fine-tuning and ensuring that the person is actually in the state of sainthood, so that he or she can now be raised to that level of sainthood. And remember this, to become a saint, you don't need to be a bishop, a priest, a religious. Anybody can become a saint.
So even ordinary people, the laities, can also be saints?
True.
And how do you get these people? Because as you say, there are two opposing or different people or groups of people. So how does it happen? Does it have to be initiated by a single person, or is just a group of people?
The initiator of the whole process is the bishop of the local diocese.
All right.
So the bishop is the one who says, this person has lived a good life, and from our understanding, we believe this person can be a saint. Talk of Tanzania. Tanzania, they have postulated that the former president, the former president actually, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, because of the way he lived, simplicity, humility, they have postulated that this person becomes a saint. So when they presented it, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere was made servant of God, a lay person. So now they have started the process. They should now take it to the next levels, then through the 4 levels, up to when he becomes a saint. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, now you know why you should really be humble and focus on serving God and humanity, because being a saint is not just reserved for the religious. Even an ordinary person like you can be raised to such a high rank in the church. Now, briefly tell us about the genesis of beatification and how relevant is it to the Catholic Church?
The genesis is about holiness. We come back to that idea of living a holy life. So it is a call to holiness, where all of us are striving to become holy. In the early church, the time of apostles, the first centuries of the church, there were people who were living very good holy lives. And people would look at them and they would say, these are saints. And if you go to the Bible, you will find that the early Christians, they were always called the saints because of the way they loved one another and expressed it. Now, that brought to the church an idea that we need to have a good way in which we can bring these people to be known. And so in around 997, that is the time the first pope to canonize a person was done. And the first person to be canonized was the Bishop of Augsburg. He was called Ulrich. That was the first person to be canonized by the church in 973. from there, then a process was created of how a person can be canonized and beatified. That is now what we do in the church. So the church has a whole itinerary of process that can make a person a saint in the church.
Thank you very much, Father Bonaventure. Now, to the lady of the day, Pauline Marie Jaricot, what is her contribution to the religion and the missionary work?
The contribution is first. Pauline was a lay faithful. Pauline was not a sister. Pauline was not a religious. Pauline was just a lay faithful who converted after listening to a homily about vanity of vanities. This was a girl at 17 years old. She was a girl who loved to dress well, to look nice, to attract people, you know. But she listened to this homily about vanity of vanities, and she changed. So her conversion was to leave the life of vanity and now start the life of holiness. So that is a beautiful story of conversion where every one of us, we need to think about our point of conversion. And when she converted, she now started a life of prayer and devotion to the Sacred Heart and the Eucharist. She had a lot of devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Eucharist. Why? Because at that time, it was the time when France had undergone revolution. And then there was the rupture of church and state, where the church and state were being separated. So she wanted to return the holiness of the church in its rightful place. So there was a lot of misunderstandings. There was a lot of cudgels and ill talk about the faith. So she comes in as a person who wants to return the faith where it needs to be. So this defines now her second role, that we have a responsibility to protect and take care of our faith. Each and every baptized person, you have a role to take care of your faith and to protect it against evil and against the devil. Then the third point is when now she receives these requests and she's being asked, help us. We are missionaries. We have gone to China and we don't have resources to evangelize in China. So she comes and now brings this team of girls and asks them to pray for the missions and also donate just a shilling to the mission. And that is now the basis upon which a propagation of faith, our society, PMS, starts. So she founds, as early as 1822, she already has this idea of networking so that people can pray and donate for the missions where there is need.
Who are the beneficiaries of her efforts?
The beneficiaries of her efforts were the missionaries who went as far as China, as far as Asia, and as far as Africa, as early as 1800. Those were the beneficiaries.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, what considerations are considered or put in place in the Roman Catholic Church before one can go through these four processes to the road towards sainthood?
The considerations that the church takes is, one, you must have been baptized and living a holy life in the sacraments. Two, the church will bring out this information and give to the bishop. It is the bishop who presents it to the congregation for the causes of saints and says, yes, this person has lived a good life. We want this person to be considered for sainthood. Then the bishop is asked to constitute a tribunal, a team. And in that team, there will be a person who will postulate, who will say, yes, I've done my investigation, and this person is worthy of being a saint. That is a person we call a postulator. But there is another one whom the church asks to go and find out could there be some ills that this person did that can block him from becoming a saint. So that is what the person we call promoter of faith. He promotes faith by looking at, did this person live a faithful life? That in the colloquial language, we call that person the devil's advocate. The devil's advocate. Yeah, because he looks for faults to say this person does not warrant to become a saint. Then this tribunal will work through that and give a report. That report, if it says this person is worthy, then now they give it to Rome, and Rome raises the person to the state of venerable, and now they invoke that if there is a miracle that will happen through the intercession of this person whom we are postulating, then that is the time we can raise the person to the state of venerable and be beatified. So that process it takes long. It's not a 2-day thing. And that's why our servant of God, Maurice Cardinal Otunga, has not been raised, because there are these postulations, questions, answers, coming forth, back and forth. It has to be done, and it is very thorough. It's very thorough.
Thank you very much. Now, you give an example of Pope John Paul II. It's the voice of people that influence Pope Benedict to shorten the period of time. Now, for an ordinary person, can just the other faithfuls or just other ordinary congregations, can their voice be heard by the bishop? Can the bishop consider their request if they feel that this is someone who was a part of us, we lived with him, and we feel that he deserves to be raised to that level of servant of God?
You're very right. It is the voice of the people. It is not the voice of a person, the voice of the people. It is me and you and him and the others, the Christians, who will say, this person lived a holy life. The investigation is who is being called to come and give evidence. It is the Christians, the people who lived with this person. It is the jumuiya, yeah? the community that makes a person a saint, not an individual.
So the bishop doesn't really have to know this person like in that in a personal context?
That is true.
Okay.
It is, in fact, bishops are only given. They are given names, and they are told this person lived a holy life. So the bishop institutes the tribunal to find out what I'm hearing, what I've received. Is it true? And if it is true, then let me go ahead and push it to this level of sainthood.
Thank you very much. What would be of more interest to myself and other people out there watching is the kind of life that Blessed Pauline Marie lived before, that is before the time she decided to now serve God as a lay faithful.
Well, Pauline Marie Jaricot was born in a family that was wealthy, if I may put it, because the father used to own a silk factory in Lyon, France. And Pauline was raised in that life of affluence, life of getting what she wants. And she had, just like any child, she had her wishes, and she had her dreams to become the best that she wanted to be. And in the process, she dressed well, she looked good, she loved ornaments, she loved to dress flashy, yeah, and she believed that was the way. Until when she got into this church, and the church is called the St. Nysia Church. That is where she listened to this priest, Father Wools, talking and giving a homily about vanity of vanities. These things come, these things go. And she asked herself, what am I doing with my life? So that was the point of conversion. And this happens to everybody. Everybody.
We all get to that point of reflection,
yes.
Introspection.
Yes.
All right.
And we call it a metanoia. You make an about turn in your life. That is the point of conversion. And when you make that decision to convert, many a times we never look back. Because for Pauline, all her fancy dresses, fancy life, she put them aside and picked the life of the workers.
That's quite an intriguing story. The to-be-emulated character, metanoia, point of conversion. It is time to take a breather. We'll be right back with more, so do stay with us.
Capuchin TV, kitambulisho Katoliki.
Amri za Mungu. Ndimi Bwana Mungu wako. Usiabudu miungu wengine. Usilitaje bure jina la Mungu wako. Shika kitakatifu siku ya Mungu. Waheshimu baba na mama, upate miaka mingi na heri duniani. Usiue. Usizini. Usiibe. Usiseme uongo. Usitamani mwanamke asiye mke wako. Usitamani mali ya mtu mwingine. Amri za Mungu.
Kupata
amri za Mungu.
Kama sikiza tune yako, bonyeza neno sikiza likifuatwa na nambari 738-102-51. Capuchin TV, kitambulisho Katoliki. Capuchin TV.
Welcome back. We are glad you're still keeping us company as we delve deep into this discussion on the beatification of Blessed Pauline Marie Jaricot, who was whose first or actual beatification process commenced on 22nd of May this year, 2022. And with me in studio is Father Bonaventure Lucidio, the National Director of the Pontifical Mission Society, is taking us through these processes. What is it all about? about. And of course, at this point, we would like to focus on the most important part of it. How important is the beatification of Blessed Pauline Marie Jaricot for the missions? So as the head of the PMS in Kenya, the national director, would like him to tell us how significant was this particular process in the Catholic Church. Welcome back, Father.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah.
So now please tell us about the significance of this actual process of the beatification of Pauline Jaricot.
Pauline Jaricot was beatified on 22nd of May 2022. That is last Sunday. Beautiful mass that we attended in Lyon, Euro Expo Center. It was presided over by the prefects of the Congregation of Evangelization of Peoples. That is Louis Antonio Cardinal Tagle. This moment was a moment of definition because it defined who Pauline Marie Jaricot is to the life of missions. That she, being the founder of Pontifical Mission Societies, she was the one who gave us the worldwide network. She started with just 10 girls, but today we are talking about 120 national directions in over 1,200 dioceses in the world.
Wow.
This is fundamental, and this is big. Somebody is starting something very small, and it grows and becomes a whole network. It is big. 2, Pauline had a way in which she worked through this, and her way was prayer and charity. She encouraged the people who used to come to those circles to pray for the missions and donate. And this is where now we are coming even to the Mwananchi here in Kenya, to ask them to get into that spirit of mission by praying for the missions, what we are now doing, the mission rosary, which we are praying, and then donating. People should get into the spirit of donating for the missions. The priests, the religious, the lay faithful who have offered themselves to go for the mission, let us follow them with prayers and also our personal contribution. And the contribution, it's not you give us millions of shillings. We are saying kidogo kidogo hujaza kibaba. So even a shilling adds to that mission, because you are donating not out of the plenty, but out of the love that you have for the mission. So our idea through Pauline is to help people to understand and love the missions, so that they can go to missions by donation, by giving something for the mission.
So actually it's the little that you give that makes a whole lot of difference in this mission work. Thank you very much for that in-depth explanation. And now, what is the possible next step after her beatification? Will her accolades change following the adulation?
Yes, her accolades change. So now she is no longer venerable. She has become blessed. So we use the word blessed. Blessed Pauline Marie Jaricot. And at the level of being blessed, then she enters into the role of canonization. So she becomes one person whom we can call for intercession. She becomes a person you can pray to, so that she can intercede for you in a particular area. So we have even novena prayers that you can pray to Blessed Pauline to assist you to do something or give something, and especially for for the missions. So from this level, then now we wait. If there will be 2 miracles that will happen attributed to her, then she will now be raised to the level of sainthood. Yeah. So it is important also to ask ourselves, what made Pauline Jaricot to be raised to the level of blessed? So this is the story of the girl Marilyn Tran. Marilyn, when she was 3.5 years, she was eating food and it choked her. It went to the throat and went to the wrong side. And the father tried to remove the choked food. It to no avail. And so they had to run to the hospital. In the process, this girl lost oxygen. And so the brain without oxygen went dry. This girl got into what is called cardiac coma. Loss of senses, loss of brain damage, and so on. So the doctors, when she arrived in hospital, the doctors looked at her and it was like, this girl cannot live. Her condition is irreversible. And the family said, doctors, just try. So now, when this information reached her classmates, one of her classmates was involved in this circle of living rosary, the Living Faith Rosary. So she brought this information to her parents and her classmates and said, our friend Marilyn is in dire situation. Let us pray this Living Rosary, asking for the intercession of Pauline Marie Jaricot. It is children who started the prayer. Her classmates, they are the ones who started praying through the intercession of Pauline Marie Jaricot, because one of them was in that spirit. And when they prayed and gave their all, this miracle happened. And actually, even the doctors up to today, they are saying it has never happened. A person cannot get to that stage and come out. And Pauline, the girl Marilyn, I saw her. I saw the girl, she's walking, she's talking, things that she could not do. And
so when the news of the miracle came forth, were there some investigations done to verify that?
oh yes, yes. Medical, spiritual, all that. They have to verify beyond proof that truly it was not just a medical condition. It was beyond medical condition. It's a miracle. It had to be proved. Doctors, lawyers, put them together. They had to go and investigate that miracle and prove that it is beyond our
science.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Father Bonaventure. Now, in line with that, tell us about intercessory prayers in the Catholic Church.
Intercessory prayers are very powerful. And what are intercessory prayers? Intercessory prayers are prayers that people make through a saint. Why a saint? Because our faith tells us these are people at the side of the Lord. They are close to the Lord. And so they can put a good word, if I may use that, put a good word for me, who is still struggling here on earth. So that is what we call intercession. Our Mother Mary intercedes for us because she is close to her Son. The saints intercede for us because they are close to the Lord. They enjoy they enjoy the beatified vision of the Lord. So through them, through their prayers, through our requests to them, they can put a good word to the Lord on our behalf. Just like when you want something from your dad, if you go direct, you want, say, 2,000 shillings from your dad. You go direct, your dad will give you 1,000.
Or 500.
Or 500.
Or nothing at all.
But if you go through your mother, your mother has a way in which she can talk to your dad and give you 2,000. So that is the same thing with our faith. That through our Mother Mary, through these saints, they can help us to receive grace and blessings that can help us to journey in this life of faith. Yeah.
That has always been a point of contention, especially from the non-Catholics. They tend to question, why is it that Catholics always request or invoke the people, the dead, or the people they call saints or servants of God or blessed, to pray for them? Why not pray directly to God? But I think that clarifies that.
Yeah, yeah. It's not that we are not praying directly to God. We are praying to God, but we are also seeking assistance of other people. Even in our traditions, we had what we call ancestors. And we had to call upon ancestors to come and assist us during times of need. Why? It's because humanity knows that there is life after death. Yeah. There is life after death. And if there is life after death, there are people who are already living the after now. Yeah. And those people are our intercessors. They are watching over us. Why can't we also ask them to plead our cause?
Absolutely. That's quite clear. Now, how does Blessed Pauline's beatification or any other beatification generally in the Catholic Church relate to the search of holiness among the lay faithfuls?
A beautiful question. A beautiful question. The beatification of a saint, the beatification of any person will always relate with me at a particular level where I am asking myself, how am I living my life? How am I living my life? Am I striving for holiness, or I am away from the road to holiness? It is all about striving for holiness. They remind us. They're like our alarm clock to remind us, are you headed to the right direction, or you are diverting? Yeah. So they are our alarm clock, our compass towards holiness.
Thank you very much, Father Bonaventure. I'm told our time is up, and there is another program that's supposed to is standby to go on air. But before we do that, kindly give us your parting shot in line with the beatification process generally, and specifically the beatification of Blessed Pauline Marie Jaricot.
I would say this, that everybody is on the road to holiness. We are all on the road to holiness, because life does not end with the soil 6 feet. There is life after death. And if there is life after death, then we should look at our processes of conversion. And the process of conversion is a daily process. And so we need to engage seriously on matters of faith and bring out our faith without fear. And when we live our faith, faith is strengthened when we share, not when we become isolated. So when we share our faith, then we are in mission. When we share our love, then we are in mission. And that is Pauline Marie Jaricot, who said, love until you feel the pain.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Father Lucidio Bonaventure. You have the message. That's the point. Reinforce it. Love until it hurts. Love until you feel the pain. So you can actually measure or feel that actually you've done what it really takes to be a good person, to be a servant of God. And of course, thank you very much, dear viewer, for making time for this program. It usually comes to you every fortnight, after every 2 weeks. So we will be right back here with a panel this time round with people from drawn from different parts, remote places, who are missioning in these places, and we'll get to know what are they actually doing and what does it really take for them to be in such positions. How is they feel? What challenges do they go through? So do not forget, save the date and time. The PMS show or special edition comes to you after every 2 weeks. So mid-month of June, we will be right here with you with these discussions. So I'd like also, before I close the discussion, to thank or commend the efforts of those who have been working behind the scenes, starting with my camera operators who have been Evans Havana and Felix Juma. Our sound operator has been Eric Otieno. Thank you also the team who are the person in charge of our visual mixing. This is Francis Kidome. And on our transmission desk, we have Michael Kibandi, as usual. And I'd like at this point to pass you over to the other end. In a short while, there is a team that is standby in Kitale, bringing you events that are happening. So continue watching, stay tuned, and you will be informed more on what is happening on that other side of the country. My name is Sasha Elizabeth, and until next time, goodbye.
Capuchin TV, kitambulisho Katoliki.
Welcome to St. Theresia Academy and Girls High School, a true embodiment of modern holistic education.
The reason why we started the school is because we wanted to support the Ministry of Education to provide quality education.
Our work is to discover, to nurture, and to develop what God has given unto us and give it to our community, to our boys and girls.
The center is located in the beautiful hillside town of Kilungu in Makueni County in eastern Kenya. This provides a friendly environment for effective learning experience.
We are located from